Greetings to everyone. Uh, Always an honor and a pleasure to call to order one of our monthly business meetings. So I will do that for April 2024. Dr. David Falkland, for those that don't know who I am, but I think y'all do. So good to see y'all faces as always. I will go down the line just acknowledging those commissioners and staff that are with us. So Commissioner Millen, good morning. Commissioner Snowden, good morning. Commissioner Haley, good morning. Commissioner Hughes, good morning. Commissioner Barnes, good morning. Commissioner Stevenson, good morning. Commissioner Davis, good morning. Let me see. Commissioner Coles, good morning. Commissioner Creary, good morning. Commissioner Davis, good morning. Commissioner Barrett, good morning. Commissioner Dupree Wilson, good morning. Now I got to do staff. Kristen, good morning. Sophie, good morning. Trish, good morning. Zanita, good morning. Hopefully I got everybody. If I miss anybody, my apologies. I think I got everybody though.
Commissioner Armenti just joined up. Sorry.
Yeah, Commissioner Armenti, good morning.
You just
welcome. All right, we got a packed house. This is what's up. So y'all know a hearing session's coming up. That's why y'all showed up, right? I'm messing with y'all. I'm glad to see y'all. Good to see y'all. This is wonderful. All right, moving along with our agenda because we definitely got a lot to do. The approval of last month's business meeting minutes. So commissioners should have received that yesterday from me. So I hope you've had a chance to take a look. If you have not, take a quick look. If you may, please let me know if there are any edits that need to be made. And if not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? All right, the minutes are accepted as presented, and thank you, Arusha. I'm not sure if she's on, but thank you, Arusha, for doing that in our support. Much appreciation. All right, moving on. So my comments are going to be very short. We got a hearing session on Saturday in Frederick County. From everything that I continue to learn, is going to be well attended, which is awesome. I just sent an invitation to a descendant of one of the racial terror lynching victims. So it's going to be awesome that we're going to have that representation in this space. As with all of our hearing sessions, it's going to be a meaningful experience. And so for those that will be joining us in person, those that will be joining us virtually, just be prepared for that, for everything that will be revealed and be acknowledged within that space. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I got to go get the refreshments later this week, but I'm very honored to do that on behalf of Discover Me, Recover Me. And yeah, I'm always grateful for the work that we do in the background, and certainly to now really show the public the fruits of the labor that we do as a commission, because we know how important this stuff is. And the hearing sessions are really our opportunity to declare to the public, the citizens of Maryland, the people of Maryland, how important this work is. So I'm looking forward to it, and I will leave it at that. So with that, I make space for commissioners to do a soul check. If there's anything that they want to share at this time, please feel free.
I'd like to share something that just happened this morning, if I might, for everyone. This morning, the organization that I'm a part of, which is called the Caucus of African American Leaders, which is a statewide organization made up of 70 different organizations and activists, mostly focused around civil rights, unanimously passed a resolution that's been sent to the governor and the Maryland General Assembly that 2 bridges in Maryland be renamed. One is the Francis Scott Key Bridge, where that tragedy took place. Most people are unaware of the fact that Francis Scott Key was no noble believer in human rights. He was a slave owner. He was a brother-in-law of Roger Taney, who wrote the infamous Dred Scott decision. He himself, Francis Scott Key, noted that he was a lawyer who said that in writing that Black people are inherently inferior to white people. And so we have asked Governor Moore and the General Assembly to rename the building in honor of Perrin Mitchell, who was the first African American to be elected to the United States House of Representatives. We know that there will be pushback, but we think we will eventually prevail, as we have in other cases. And there's a second bridge, the Chop Tank Bridge in Cambridge, Maryland. It too is named after a former state senator whose racial animus toward Black people is part of the record. He fought against integration on Maryland's Eastern Shore, etc. And so we're recommending that the governor rename that bridge in honor of Gloria Richardson. Gloria Richardson was one of the pioneers as it relates to civil rights. She died about 2 years ago at the age of 99. Be a great way to honor her. So I wanted to make you aware of that. And then lastly, it's a short time notice, but if you could make it, it would be great. Kristen Clark is an African-American woman who got appointed by the President Biden to be the assistant civil rights director, the highest ranking person in civil rights at the United States Department of Justice. She's making a special trip to Maryland's Eastern Shore, Cambridge, Maryland. This year, by the way, represents an anniversary in Cambridge where disturbance took place, to talk to leadership there about what they're planning to do to address systemic racism, particularly on Maryland's Eastern Shore. That meeting is going to take place from 3 to 5 today in Cambridge, Maryland. It's open to the public. And the address is 3030 Cedar Road, Cambridge, Maryland. So thank you, David, for the opportunity to share this with the commissioners.
No problem. Thank you, Commissioner Snowden. Appreciate that as always in all your efforts. Any other commissioners have anything that they'd like to share at this time as part of their soul check? All right, hearing none. Well, keep checking your soul. That's a continuous process. So we'll move on with our agenda to public comments. So as always, we are grateful to the public for being here, for being along this process with us, for holding us accountable, and ultimately for supporting us. So if you would like, please put your name and your affiliation in the chat. And again, thank you for being here. We are grateful. Moving on with our agenda to committee reports, and I will quickly start before we go into the reports itself to
Chair, I want to highlight that there was just a comment put in the chat.
Oh, sure. Let me pull that up. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, Hess, for being here. Thank you, Hannah, for being here. Again, to all our members of the public, thank you for being in this space with us. So moving on to our committee reports, and before we go into the reports, I do want to officially announce that Amy Millen will be the new chair of the Logistics Committee, taking over for Commissioner Maya Davis. So thank you again, Maya Davis, for all of your hard work and your commitment. Amy, thank you for the same, and we are grateful that we continue to move this work forward. I always appreciate when people Irish, you can't hear anything? Can everybody else hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, just making sure. So again, we are appreciative again for all the hard work, the flexibility, the honesty. We know that we as commissioners are doing this because we choose to, because we believe in this work, but we understand that we have to find a balance, right? So Maya, I truly do honor the fact that you knew when you were at capacity. Amy, I thank you for appreciating the fact that you have capacity. So this is great. Again, grateful for this transition to happen as smoothly as it did. So much gratitude. Okay, so with that, we will have the actual committee reports. So whichever committee chair would like to start, please feel free.
David, excuse me, Iris has raised her hand.
Yes, Commissioner Barnes. Iris, can you hear me? Commissioner Barnes? Okay.
Iris, can you write in the chat again what you're saying? If we can't hear you, obviously we can't hear you. So can you write what you wanted to share in
Yeah.
the chat, please?
Okay. All right, we'll give a minute to see if Commissioner Barnes writes something in the chat, and then we'll move forward. I never stare at the chat this intently. This is like great vacation. Okay, well, in the meantime, oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. So thank you, Commissioner Barnes. All right, well, you feel free to jump back in and hopefully you can hear us this time. All right, cool. So we will move forward with committee reports. So whoever would like to start with that, please feel free.
I can go first since it's short and sweet, but I also want to give appreciation to Maya, Commissioner Davis, for all the work she's done over the past many years and really ensuring a solid foundation upon which we're going to be able to build as we go through the rest of the hearing. So none of this would really be possible without Commissioner Davis. In my new capacity, I've yet to convene a meeting, so I really don't have a report. I do expect to spend the next month connecting with each commissioner who has on paper chosen or been assigned to a county in which a hearing is supposed to still be held, checking in with them, checking their capacity, checking their engagement and also time frame, and then be able to report that back at the next meeting in a month. So
Thank you, Commissioner Millen. Appreciate that very, very much. Commissioner Creary, Commissioner Armenti, any reports that you'd like to share?
Sure. Reconciliation Committee, we actually did meet despite some technical difficulties on the part of the technology that I use to do my Zoom meetings. But we just really kind of, well, I guess Commissioner Coles was able to interview several applicants for internship positions from the University of Baltimore, and hopefully that will translate into one, possibly two interns working with us. We also had a brief, sort of discussion about the framing, thinking about framing the final report. Since, as I've been saying for many months now, we're going to need at least a year to write this thing, and we want to make sure that we get it right. So we just sort of initially kicking around, and I also shared the links to several other large type reports like that, like the Tulsa massacre report, the South African Truth and Reconciliation Commission's final report, Canada's report dealing with Indigenous people and the schools there, and I think there was one more, I'm blanking, but just to at least start those conversations. And sort of the initial thought was, all right, let's start with at least two large parts. Part one, truth, in which we foreground and highlight and showcase the work that the that the research committee has done, combined with the data that we've gathered in the hearings, and sort of really show, the most recent research that we have on the 38 cases. And then part two, reconciliation, in which we start, laying out the recommendations, for reparations. And we can sort of, take those thematically or any number of ways, but again, just sort of that was sort of the initial discussion. And I think those are the big highlights. And as I said, we had some unforeseen technical difficulties, but the work moves on.
Thank you, Commissioner Curry. Appreciate the update. Commissioner Armenti, any updates on research?
Absolutely. So we held a committee meeting last Monday, April 1st, that had attendance of multiple commissioner staff and members of the public. So the primary focus was on the 3 Frederick County cases that we are acknowledging of James Bowens, James Carroll, and John Biggis in Frederick County. And so my ongoing task in collaboration with the committee, as well as with some of our community colleagues, is to make sure that we have as much of that information packaged ahead of the hearing, so that first, all commissioners can access profiles and reports that can have them informed as we're going into Saturday, but also position us to continue to update kind of public facing aspects, including our profiles that are currently hosted on the Maryland State Archives page. So again, many thanks to especially Dean Herron of the National Park Service, formerly of the National Park Service, as well as entities such as the African American Resources, Cultural, and Heritage Arch of Frederick County, who really provided a amazing foundation for what we are to understand about these 3 individuals and the cases associated with them. Also should mention that the work of Heritage Associates has allowed us to make connections with likely descendants, some of whom are participating in the hearing session on Saturday. And like with some of our past hearings, these are largely collateral descendants, based on the evidence that we have. In other words, not direct line from the individual victims of the lynching cases, but rather, folks that would have been descended from aunts, uncles, cousins. But of course, that space being made for those descendants to speak during the hearing session. And I believe at this time there are 3 descendants confirmed, but that's also a fluid, or 2 or 3. That's also a fluid conversation as we, again, work in collaboration with our colleagues in Frederick who are still doing outreach, as well as building on some of the information that's come directly to the commission. Something that I think is also worth at least a quick mention is that one of our staff colleagues at the State Archives, Hannah Lane, shared about a near lynching that occurred in 1907 in Frederick County. And while near lynchings or some other racial terror violence is not necessarily by definition under the purview of the commission, it is valuable information, and so that it shows kind of the community context and the ongoing terror that could occur in a community, even if a murder was not executed by the white community in that case. So, understanding, especially since the 3 cases in Frederick County were in relatively short period of time, from 1879 to 1895, understanding what the community context was, how those events spoke to each other, and how that kind of ongoing terror and impact was felt amongst the Black community in particular in that part of our state. So I can wrap it up there, but to say that the information, profiles, primary sources, etc., I will share out in an email to the full commission so they know exactly where to find that information, and appreciate everybody's help in putting that compilation of material together. But of course, in the meantime, anybody can reach out to me directly if they have questions about what's going to be shared on Saturday.
Thank you, Commissioner Armenti, for that report. Thank you to all the chairs for your various reports. And yeah, there's a lot going into this hearing session. I'm very excited in the sense that, again, we can present a full breadth of what work has been done in order to tell this story appropriately. And as I mentioned before, most excited, most proud that we will have descendants, multiple descendants, that will have this platform to speak truth in honor of their ancestor. That's the most powerful thing that we can do on Saturday. So I'm very excited about that part for sure. So moving on in our agenda to any county region engagement updates. Since we last met, I know that Trish has sent around an email to us commissioners to provide updates. Again, just to kind of see where the work is and what we need to do moving forward with this year. So if there are any outstanding updates that commissioners would like to share about the engagement, please feel free to do so at this time.
I guess I could chime in, and I know Nick actually did more of this communication, but he and I have jointly been liaisons to both Frederick and Carroll County, and I think just for the record that folks that we had been corresponding with in Carroll County are no longer on that local steering committee. So I believe there was some effort on their part to kind of recruit or activate other people in the Carroll County community, but I believe we are somewhat at a pause there. There had been some minor discussion about linking the two hearings together, which was kind of our original idea back in 2019, 2020, but obviously that did not come to fruition before this Saturday. So I don't have all the details on that, but just wanted to update that some of that communication is in process.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Will.
Commissioner Will, I see you.
Yeah, I can give you an update on that, actually. There was an initial meeting of those who wanted to reconstitute the Carroll County group a few weeks ago. I can't remember. And there's going to be another meeting a week from Wednesday. So Jennifer Haber, who many of you will recall from Anne Arundel County, Connecting the Dots. I see Chris nodding. She moved to Westminster a while ago, and so she's graciously offered to help coordinate that. And so they had a wonderful meeting a few weeks ago, and there's another one coming up, and they're hopeful, and I don't think I'm spilling anything here, but I mean, they've set a kind of a goal of having an event, a remembrance event in Westminster on June 2nd, which is, I believe, an anniversary of the lynching of Townsend Cook. Was that it? Yeah. So anyway, so that's and they're meeting again on next Wednesday, and I'm happy to report back if anything happens then.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you as always. Appreciate that very much.
Sure.
Chair, I can provide some updates from other commissioners, counties who did respond to the emails that I did send out. So we do know for Frederick County, that will be coming up this upcoming weekend. For Howard County, both Maya and Commissioner Dupree did state that they will be meeting to get together and reconvening community outreach for some planning there. For Prince George County, we did have Commissioner Baker who said that she will be looking into some other types of coalitions that meet outside of Saturdays because those days are very conflicting, and that she will also be meeting with Commissioner Simone. So I know that is forthcoming as well. For Hartford and Cecil County, I'm glad that Ms. Iris is on. There was no response via email, but maybe she'll be able to provide some additional context today. And then David, thank you for providing an update for the other county that you and both Nick are liaisons for. And those are some updates from me.
Thank you for that, Trish. I appreciate it. And I would say to commissioners, certainly provide your updates to Trish. I actually kind of like, and maybe that's something we'll implement moving forward. Trish can kind of provide us with the updates as are given to her prior to our business meetings. I think that's a good way to, again, assure accountability, but just again track the progress of what we're all doing. So we know that as we make these connections, it is important to have the support. So as always, thank you, Will, for the support that you and Marilyn Lynching Memorial Project offer to the commission. We know it takes time, it takes repetition. Sometimes we got to go backwards a little bit to go forward. So all that is understood is just making sure that we know what's happening. So I certainly appreciate Commissioner's cooperation with that. If Trish shows your email, I encourage you to please respond. Even if your response is nothing has happened, that's okay. We just want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence with developing the necessary relationships for our work.
Yep. And Chair, one other thing for Cabot and St. Mary's County, Commissioner Commissioner Coles has been working on a tri-county collaboration there, and there's some upcoming meetings that will be happening closer to July. And Amy, I did hear you also communicate that you will be wanting those updates so you can touch base, see what folks want. So I will also be CCing you moving forward as our new logistics chair for those emails too.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, Reverend Tykert, I see your hand.
Yes, hi, I'm the liaison from the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project to the commission. I might have missed what you just said, Trish, about our liaisons from the commission to our project. Could you repeat that? And probably what I really want is to get connected better to your liaisons with us. Maybe you could connect me with them.
Yes, ma'am, most certainly. If you leave your email address in the chat, I could definitely connect you all. I think that will be very helpful for them. I think just in regards, I don't know which day the exact meetings are for Princess Shores, if they run on Saturdays or which days, but I know that there was just some conflict and some of the commissioners being able to attend for Saturdays due to family conflict. But once the email is provided, I can connect you all and maybe you all can work through a better process for a meeting.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. We would be happy to have them attend a steering committee meeting instead of our general meeting if Saturdays are impossible. So yeah, totally.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for the updates. Moving on to our new business. No surprise, we are getting ready for our hearing session on Saturday, the 13th. So really right now, we just want to make space for any important updates that need to be shared with commissioners as well as the public about Saturday. I know there's been some conversations about the logistics, making sure we have a full accounting of the number of participants. I'll say I definitely need to know that so I can have as many water bottles as necessary. Bottles of water, not water bottles. Bottles of water is necessary in terms of refreshments. So any important updates for Saturday in any regard, logistics, research, reconciliation, just Saturday, anything related to Saturday that needs to be discussed, let's do that right now.
The update I can provide is that I will be doing a physical walkthrough of the event space on the 10th, and Amy will be joining me for that. The whole purpose of this walkthrough will be to provide some updates to our audio visual team, who is just wanting to get things solidified with where they will be setting up speakers or different types of visual capturing, such as like a screen or a TV set, something if folks are going to be doing presentations. If folks have anything that they would like to be added to the slides, please get them to me by tomorrow. That will be extremely helpful for me to create the slides that I can share with the audio visual team so that we're able to have it on one computer and that we can actually do a run through and just make sure we have everything there. Those are some of the main updates for me now.
Commissioner Barrett, I see your hand. Thank you, Trish.
Yes. What about directions to where we're going? You hear me?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we will be going to Lincoln Elementary and Frederick County. And it's in the run of show that should have been shared with everybody, but I'm sure we can circulate the direct address again for folks.
Thank you.
The address is also on the registration link, and everybody needs to register for that.
Commissioner Creary, I see your hand. Thank you all for that.
I was Just getting ready to pop the address of the school into the chat. If I can find the chat, where is it? Sorry, I'm not used to dealing with Teams as often as I am with Zoom. But anyway, I'll get that in there. I guess the other big thing is, Trish, if you could confirm. I mean, I think the seating capacity is, more than 150 at this point. Are we looking at? I think the number you shared was we could get up to 260 some folks in there.
Yes, that is
So
correct.
yes, so that I think is going to be huge, because that way, if we do have people sort of, walk-ins, showing up the day of, we should be able to accommodate them. Because I just checked on the registration site and we're down to like 6 spots left in that original 150. So I think if we can get word out that we can take up to, safely another 100 people, that would be huge.
Yep, and I also just CC'd you on an email. If you could just update the registration amount so more folks are able to go in and get registered if they want, that would be extremely helpful. Thank
I
you.
will take care of that immediately.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about, as long as I'm on, about arrangements? I know that there was a woman whose name escapes me right now, who had written to us, because that's where the ticket, thing happens. And she had offered, she's a photographer, and she had offered to take, to document the hearing. And I passed her offer along to others on the commission, because I mentioned to her that that's up to the commission. And I want to know if anyone's ever has gotten back to her.
So I can say I haven't had that information passed along. So Will, in the interest of time, if you can send it to me. Because I mean, I'll certainly appreciate the offer. Yeah, I think that would be great to have it documented in another way. Yeah.
And we had this, a similar thing happen with the woman who was doing all that work on the public information, and the public relations thing.
Right.
I mean, she put in like a year and a half or more of work, and didn't get a response. I mean, it's just bad form.
No,
So yes, I will pass it along.
Absolutely.
I will pass it along.
So there was a response to the individual, but we also wanted to confirm internally if there was already services being contracted for that, like through the PR firm. But I don't think that we followed up after that again to confirm one way or the other. So I think we settled on. I actually don't remember what we settled on, but I will definitely revisit the email thread and see what we can say. But I don't believe that our PR firm is going to be doing photography as a formal part of their contract. So I feel like we would probably welcome that sort of support.
Yeah. I was going to say another issue. One of the speakers, Terry Ann Scott, said she may not be able to attend in person, and was wondering if there is a way that we could either Zoom her in, or sort of get her in remotely to provide testimony. And if not, would it be possible to record her testimony and then have that played during the hearing? I'm still waiting to hear back from her to see whether or not, to confirm whether or not she will actually be able to be there physically in Frederick. But I just figured, since Jimmy and company are here, if technically, it's like we can make this happen one way or another.
Yes, technically we can make it happen. We would just need to discuss it in more detail, because it's kind of outside of the scope that we are contracted for.
Okay. All right. Well, I figure we'll be doing another local committee meeting on Wednesday. So if we don't have something figured out one way or another by then, we can discuss it then.
All right, no problem.
Okay, great.
Jimmy,
Thank you.
if it was something to where she was able to self-record at home, and then I can get it added to the slides, and we could have a portion for it to be added to the slides, would that be sufficient?
Yeah, if you import it into a slide, we just need to make sure that your laptop is connected to the audio system.
Okay. Just wanted to see if that was a contingency option.
And you have your walkthrough on Wednesday. We could talk. Yeah, we could find out what the school's capabilities are.
Okay. Thank you.
And where we need to supplement.
Alrighty.
Sophie, I see your hand.
Yeah, I have a quick question in reference to the photographer. Is that free or is it a paid service?
No, it's free.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that needs to be discussed? Any issues that need to be raised? So I do want to acknowledge Dr. Combs, Living and Growing will be in the house for the hearing session. So very grateful for their presence. Anything else? Certainly, as was mentioned, the walkthrough is on Wednesday. So if there's anything that arises from the walkthrough, then that will be communicated via email to the commission. So if there's nothing else in regards to the hearing session that needs to be discussed right now, then we can go ahead and move on with our agenda. So we good? Anybody good? All right, we good. All right, right on. Just making sure. All right, cool. So the next thing on new business is just tracking commissioner involvement. So this is just our continuing effort to hold ourselves accountable as commissioners. So something that was discussed in the executive team meeting was just, again, just marking attendance, which will certainly be done by looking at the recordings, looking at the minutes. And if we notice that there is a relative lack of attendance with meetings, then it will just prompt a conversation with me just to check in and see how people are doing. Again, we are not naive to the fact that we are volunteering as commissioners, that we have our various obligations to our personal lives, our professional lives. And any conversation with me, if we see a relative lack of attendance, is just to say, hey, how you doing? What's your capacity? As always, we encourage honesty and transparency. We are not looking to punish anybody, because how can we actually punish you? We just want to, again, make sure that people have the energy and bandwidth to do this work. It's a lot. We all know this. And when we are at our full strength, we do this work so much better. I think this meeting is a great example of that, and everything that's been discussed. Those who have been to our previous hearing sessions, getting 150 people is incredible, right? The fact that we're opening it up to even more people is incredible. And I think that's very much a testament to the growing capacity of this commission, the growing capacity of our support in all ways that it shows up. We are manifesting, I think, the best of our abilities. So we certainly want to make sure that our commissioners can be in lockstep with that growing momentum. So again, if we will just, again, track attendance. If we see that it is under a certain threshold, I think we said 50%, then again, we'll just have a conversation with me just to see what is going on. We know that we have, again, a number of different obligations and circumstances. So there is no metric by which we decide, oh, you aren't committed, but again, an opportunity for us to just be open and honest about our capacity. So Sophie, I'll start with you, and then Commissioner Davidson, I'll come to you.
So this is kind of in line with attendance, but it's more related to the Frederick County hearing. I know the Hatcher Group has been tracking the media confirmation or attendance. Do we know when they're going to give us a final answer on whether we have media coming and which media outlets? Have they given us a date for that?
So they have not given us a date for that. They did circle back with a media outlet that has some question in regards to legislation. And Kristen was able to respond to that, but they have not given us a definite on if any media will be there. They said that should probably come later this week, because sometimes media make their schedules the week of, so we should know something this week, and I can get that sent over to folks so everybody can be looped in there.
Okay, great. And if you could just, I guess, check with them maybe Thursday or Friday, if they haven't gotten back to you, to just kind of get an idea if we're having any media up here.
Yep.
Thanks.
Awesome. Commissioner Davidson, I see your hand.
Yes, thank you. I was I'm wondering if you have an updated commissioner directory with all our contact information. I know there are people who tried to call me on campus. I'm not on campus. I haven't been in a couple of years. So I need, if there's a director or somebody I need to email my contact, my cell phone, that'll be fine. Contacting me by email, and this may be true of others, I'll get 50 plus emails a day. And so I try to prioritize as to how I will respond. Sometimes I may not respond within 48, 72 hours. But I didn't know if there were, if there was a directory and if you all had the updated information.
No, thank you for that, Commissioner Davidson. And it certainly prompts, I think, an opportunity to update the directory. So what we can do, Trish, if you can help lead this effort, commissioners, you will receive some type of communique from Trish to make sure that we have your updated contact information. I'm sure we'll ask for email address, whichever one you would respond to theoretically, and cell phone number. Then you can give us the preference. Would you rather be contacted by cell, or would you rather be contacted by email? Okay. Now, sometimes it will just have to be an email because of certain things that we share, like if, agenda, minutes, things like that will just come through email. But if it's something that requires a quicker connection, and if you're okay with being called or even texted, like, let's be honest, people like to text now, just say it, and that's what we'll do. In terms of who the communication comes from, it'll just be based on whoever needs to reach out to you. So it may come from me, may come from Trish. So we'll also just make sure you're okay with members of the commission having that information. Sound good?
And I will get that sent out to folks today. So feel free to just respond and we can get it solidified.
Awesome.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, there we go. All right. Cool. So again, with just tracking involvement, try to come to all the meetings that you're supposed to go to. We certainly have regular business meetings every month. We have the various committee meetings. Sometimes we will have ad hoc meetings. So if you can't come, at least say something. That's all I'll say. So again, we know that everyone can't attend every meeting. So if you can at least notify whoever is the primary facilitator of the meeting that you cannot attend, and if you can give a little bit of a reasoning, that's great. Again, we're not trying to pry into anybody's lives, but we just want to be able to hold ourselves accountable for our involvement. Okay. So with that, I will move on to announcements. Are there any announcements that commissioners would like to share? Members of the public, if there are any announcements that you have, please feel free to put that in the chat at this time. But yes, any announcements before we transition to adjournment?
One announcement is I believe that Bowie has been able to identify someone who will be joining the team as both an assistant to me and also doing various things with notes. She may even be on the call today. I can't pull up all the folks that are on. It's a lot of people on, but I did just want to provide that update.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Trish, and very much. Like seriously, like for the OGs that have been part of this since like 2019, like I hope y'all just take a moment to like breathe and appreciate like how far we've come like in terms of the structure of this commission. So I know for me, it just feels so great to say, oh, we have assistants to assistants, right? And project managers and a PR firm. It's like, these were things that were like pipe dreams for us back, 5 years ago. But we're here and it's making a huge difference. And I'm just letting myself, maybe it's the eclipse. Maybe I'm just feeling very like reflective right now. I don't know.
No, I'm feeling the vibe here. And also Miranda is actually on the call, Miss Stratford. Would you like to come off mute and introduce yourself?
Sorry, I was struggling. I was struggling with getting the mute button to actually work for me there. So just want to say hello, Miranda Stafford, and so excited to be working with you guys and to be working with Bowie State. I had been working for the General Counsel's office as the staff assistant to the chief of staff there. I moved on to a different role that has a little bit more flexibility, so I was able to join you guys and be able to help you any way I can.
Well, welcome to the commission, Miranda. We are very happy to have you here. And yes, just yeah. Claps, snaps, all that, right? Sparkly fingers, like do whatever makes you feel good. No, this. No, very, very, very grateful. Thank you, Commissioner Armenti. I see your hand.
So this is unrelated to the commission directly, but I feel like the effort overall is relevant to our work. On March 29th, I attended a symposium at Johns Hopkins University called Who Owns Black Data? So basically it was a consortium of academics, students, scholars looking at how stories and information about Black Americana and beyond is collected and shared out and represented responsibly. So I'm just going to drop that in the chat for folks' information. I think it's particularly relevant because there are Maryland institutions, including Morgan State University, that are part of that kind of cohort or network. And especially as we continue to compile information as a commission, you know, thinking about the broader kind of academic community and how that might be received under that umbrella. So I am not connected to the project directly, but I know there are folks either at Hopkins or Morgan that we could connect with if anybody's interested.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Armenti. I appreciate that. I definitely did hear about that event. I'm sorry I wasn't able to go, but glad that you were able to attend and provide that. Any other announcements? I just want to acknowledge, because it's so creepy and cosmic, that Commissioner Snowden was talking about what the Caucus of African American Leaders just sent to Governor Moore regarding the renaming bridges, and I just got a notification from the Baltimore Banner about that. So clearly it is very, very serious, but certainly a necessary part of the work that is done when addressing history, and that is what we are looking to do as well, is to give an appropriate look at history. So I just wanted to acknowledge that is okay. The work is happening. So any other announcements?
I don't have an announcement, just a thought to thank you, an announcement. And I want to acknowledge Nick Query for putting this together initially and then including the 4 HBCUs. The historically Black colleges are, even though the commissioners here to some extent are active but yet symbolic, the HBCUs have traditionally been excluded from many efforts. And over the years, we have been understaffed, underserved, and many of the professors underpaid. And for those who don't know, the professors at HBCUs tend to teach almost twice the load, have twice the load of our sister institutions. I teach at 5-4 at times, and I've been a professor for 25 years. And that I sit on committees. When I was at Coppin State, I was also interim chair. So there were attacks on history because everybody's going STEM. So our history programs aren't even getting the support that they need. I'm not going to prolong this, but I have to say, like I said, I'm co-chair on two grant projects and just came off of a third. And as Nick put in, we are overworked. But I'm glad that we are here and have a seat at the table. And if we can get more students in our departments, because we're fighting with all these other departments, we can get some more involved in internships. I'd like to thank Maya Davis, who's been working with, and the Maryland State Archives, working with Bowie and Morgan and others to bring our students into history, into working in history. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Commission, for including us. And if you do not see us as active as others, please be patient with us, call us, reach out to us. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you for that, Commissioner Davidson. And as a professor at HBCU, I empathize, like I know, and very much in the capacities that we do have, we want the HBCUs to be involved. So I, again, want to uplift Dr. Michelle Gowark, the work, and Dr. David Carey, both at Loyola University in Maryland. As I mentioned before, we are looking to do a joint class between our institutions, Loyola and Morgan State, that is specifically about restorative justice, that will focus on the MLTRC to begin with. with the intent of getting students involved in the work of restorative justice. So to Commissioner Creary, I'll say everything that you all are thinking about with reconciliation, please have Morgan and Loyola students in mind, because this is what I want them to get involved with. And even beyond the life of the commission, other ways that we can continue to have young people involved in the work of restorative justice, because it wouldn't take long for them to find something to be mad about, to be upset about, and have the willingness to change it. So let's give them the platform to do it now. So thank you for that, Commissioner Davison. And we're going to work to get Bowie involved. We're going to work to get UMES involved. We're going to work to get Coppin involved. We just got to start somewhere. But that goal is very much in mind for me. So thank you for uplifting that. Appreciate you. Any final announcements? All right, hearing none, seeing none, then I will move for us to adjourn this April 2024 business meeting. I thank you all. Appreciate you all for being here. Guess we'll take the official vote to adjourn the meeting. So is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yay. Exactly. All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? They never do. All right. Thank you very much. Again, I look forward to seeing as many of you in Frederick on Saturday as possible. If you are not able to join in person, please make an effort to join online. Between now and then, please be to look out for all communication, particularly commissioner and staff, as it pertains to Saturday's hearing session. That aside, be safe. If you're going to look at the eclipse, wear some glasses. Do not stare directly at this sun. Okay, I need y'all to have your eyes for Saturday and beyond. And with that, I'll see y'all when I see y'all, which will be Saturday for most of us.
Yeah.
All right, take care, y'all.